Type your questions online, please. You want to get one of these from your camp leaders? All right. If you could ask your camp leader to email you one of these. All right. This is your Hebrew sheet, your Lashawan Qadash Hebrew sheet. It has the ancient alphabet on the top, the modern, or what we call in here, the Assyrian Hebrew, as it came out of Assyria by the way of our people who despised our writing, considered our writing like graffiti, barbaric. This was a more colonized, more kunized, more pasteurized, more formalized and organized and civilized idea of a writing system to the Assyrians by our people, right? So our initial writing was considered ghetto and graffiti, but it is the language that we are dying to go back to, all right? The original, the barbaric, the ghetto, the graffiti writing, which is the foundation of all the writing systems in the world, including this one, and the ones you speak today in English, all right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, come. I didn't know there was one on here, so.
Yeah, I just thought that was one.
Okay. Okay. So our class is called the Lashawan Qadash class. Lashawan Qadash. Right? Lashawan Qadash. Right? The word Qadash is a word which means holy. Holy just means separate. It doesn't mean nothing out of the norm other than holy people are a separate people. They're not mixed in with all people. Right? It's not a variety of all people. Holy just means set apart, separated. Don't mix these with other things. All right? So holy means Lashawan Qadash, right? It's rooted from the word Lashan. And Lashan is the tongue. All right? The tongue. Right? Wa is something significant of like an ing in a language.
Right.
which makes it a verb. So even though tongue is a noun, it is changed to a verb because the Y is in there, right? Meaning, what is the tongue doing? The tongue it is an action word,
Right.
means your language, all right?
Right.
Means your language. So Lashawan with the ing becomes like a language, all right? Language, right? It's the thing that your tongue does,
Right.
right? The Old English, what is this tongue that you're speaking of? What is this tongue? I'm not familiar with this tongue.
Right.
The tongue is what tongue is this? What tongue is that? Tongue is old Quaker English for language. You speak with a strange tongue, right? Because without your tongue, or cut out your tongue, you can't talk. All right. The bar. The bar is the word for talk. Or when it comes to the Lord, it is the word for command.
Right.
Right? It is the word for command. All right? Command. All right? The bar. Also, if you have any questions online, please ask them. Simple questions and professional questions. Right? White people, y'all watch us all the time. Are you Arabs? Right? You got questions to ask? All right? Any questions online? All right?
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, most importantly, my aim is to feed you. That's why I even mentioned them oppressors and Arabs, because they might ask you something, they might ask me something that they might end up down the line asking you. Right? And all knowledge is good. Hold fast that which is good. I believe that's in scriptures, right? Prove all things.
Right.
Hold fast that which is good, all right? Amar. Amar is the more common word. All of these are common, right? These two words you're gonna come across a lot. It's been written like so. The bar is gonna be written like so. Right? The bar, right? And Amar, right? When you're reading your Tanakh or on your Sabbath services,
Right.
the bar, right? Amar. All right? Amar, it means say. Or rather, said, right? Said.
170 past tense.
Said will be past tense. But it always says, and the Lord said, and it will say, Waya Amar. Waya Amar is important too. Wa Ya Amar. Alright, so why am I putting this on the board? Because they're always going to see Waya Amar. And by the way, right? These two are putting a dash here and a dash here in front of the Amar to say these are prepositions. All right, prepositions. And when you see written in the Hebrew, right, you're gonna see them written together because prepositions and possessives are not written separate from the word, right? So it'll be written like so: Wa, Ya, A, Mar. Right? Right? This is Waya Amar, and this means all of this down here, right? All of this. Okay, so this is together over here. Let me group it up so we don't get confused of what's going on with the action on the board, right? Waya Amar, right? This means and he said. All right? And he said, right? So this is one piece down here. All together down here, right? I have it here in the form that you can read it. This is the Hebrew. right? This is how you read it on the Sabbath service. YAHANNA, right? I wrote it out in the English letters so you can sound out what's being said here, how you would say it, how you would organize it, how you would formalize it, where you place the prepositions, right? Before the amar, preposition, pre means before, position means where it's placed, all right? And then amar will be the root word. Always look for the root word. In anything you gotta do, you gotta look for the root word. It's the basis of your understanding when you're reading anything. You gotta count prepositions. You gotta estimate prepositions. You see a wa, ya. You gotta first of all assume that this is, being that it's more than 3 letters together in a patch. You have to map out, is this a preposition? Is this a preposition? And you'll be like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Assume it is, and assume that this ya is he, right? And then you're left with a root word with no possessive, because the ra is not a possessive. Possessive will be the last letter, right? And that is how you're gonna always map out what is being said, right? Why am I saying this? Because as a priest in the I.S.U.P.K, right? For those coming up, right? Those who are serious about the language and care about their culture, right? You have to take these things and implement them on the Sabbath services. Meaning, when you come across forms or phrases like these, you have to recognize it. You have to say to yourself, this is that waya amar. This is saying waya amar. This is saying waya dabar. This is saying waya lak, mean and he go and he went.
Right.
Right? You have to always try to calculate what is being said, because that is how you internalize things. Right? You have to, this is called the universal school of practical knowledge, meaning the things you learn in here, you have to practice. That practical means practice, means you have to act it out, right? When we tell you to, the Bible says to not smoke weed, it's not for you to just, those smoke weed, well, it's not as verse says being gay. All right, so they said to not smoke weed, but it's God is not gonna flip over that one. When we say practical, you have to not smoke weed. If we say do not smoke weed, you have to practice not smoking weed. Is it easy? No, right? That's why it takes practice. You have to practice not smoking weed. It takes time, right? Are you gonna have the urges? Yes. Should you give in to the urges? No. Will you ever give in to the urges? You might, right? You mess up, no problem. Practice not messing up, right? Make a consistent and trying and dying effort to not sin. Practice not sinning, right? That's the practical knowledge. You learn it, you get the knowledge, you practice it. All right? Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, right? Established in 1969, right? By head priest Yaikwa, Marsha, Arya, Shah, Kazak, Yeshaya, and Lahar. All right, those were the 7 heads, the 7 head priests of the school, right? And they laid the school down to Commandant Junior YAHANNA, and I believe around, what year was that, Badia? Was it
not 69 itself, but before that.
Was it 95?
95.
They passed the school down to Commandant Junior
Oh
YAHANNA.
yeah, that would have been 95. Yeah,
Was it 95?
it was a Passover. I know that much.
It was at a Passover.
Yeah,
it was either 95 or 96. But I asked General.
I want to say, because I know General Muhammad was there. General Muhammad came in 95. So.
Came in at 95. It might have been 96.
When he spoke about it, I think General Muhammad had already been in the school for at least 1 year. So it would have been 96, 97 then.
It might have been. I know it's right. I know it's right about that.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, all the haters that didn't like Commander Junior YAHANNA because they had poor and terrible brotherhood, they left the school.
Right.
Right. I know for a fact. Right. I know, knowing them and knowing Israel. You know what I mean? And knowing evil spirits out there. You know what I mean? That would have been a cause for why brothers who hate their brother that they see. That's what the scripture says, right? If you hate the brother that you see, how can you love the Lord that you cannot see?
Right.
Right? They hated the brother that they see. who was Commander Junior Yohana, left the school, left the truth, broke their oath, right? Right, so they left the school around I believe it was called the House of David, right? Caused men to break away from the school, right? Okay, left the truth, right? Around the time when the school was handed over, the charge of the school was handed over to Commander Junior Yohana. All right. Okay. All right. Good. So, any questions online?
Just iron paint, so I if I may please, does Shalom Ak mean Shalom brothers and sisters? Being that there's no S on Ak and a Kwa, does that make it plural or singular? Provided in advance. So basically, you understand what you mean, right?
No.
She asked, basically what she asked is, does Shalom Akwa mean brother, Shalom brothers and sisters? Because there's no Yam, there's no S or plural, but you have to put the plural, meaning it would be technically Shalom Akiyom Wa Kwakiyom.
Okay.
That's what she's asking. Does Shalom mean brothers and sisters? Then there's no S on Ak and Kwa.
There's no S.
But what she means is the Yam will be done.
Okay. Well, you can't assume that's what she means, right? You have to ask if that's what she means, right? So it's clear what's been said,
right?
But you cannot add it for
her. Okay, come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come.
You would have to spell it out.
Come on, come.
All right. Okay. Okay, so now she said, just art and faith, Yahweh Shemar Tabash Rashai, right? She said, Shalom, Ak. Shalom, Ak. Wa, Akwa. Right, is that correct, Kabbalah?
Come.
I'm not missing anything here, right?
Nah.
Okay, right? So, in English, we don't, in English, you pluralize things with an S, right? Cars, right? Books, right? Shirts, right? With an S. Things are pluralized by an S. In Hebrew, things are not pluralized by S, right? An S in Hebrew, right, would be the Sa, right? The Sa in ancient, right? Or a Sa in the Assyrian Hebrew. And make sure that you remember that this is an Assyrian Hebrew or the modern Hebrew, right? The so-called modern Hebrew, right? Right? The Sa represents, this is a figure of flag, right? Flag. Flag is also a banner.
Right.
Right? So this is a banner they hold up. Right? So a long time ago, we would have a banner on a stick, flag, and you have the name of the king. That's King David's name in its signature form. You put that on a banner, right? It is held across by staves of wood in the back, right? Right? To keep the thing in a straight shape, right? Or really not these lines right here, right? For more, a line in the middle, right? Hanging on the bottom, looks like a banner, all right? Work a flag, is Sawak. The Idumean scholars of the Caucasoid section, right, or the persuasion, right, say that this means to establish. It's based on the same thing, except they're basing it on the word samak, where the word samak means establish. Establish. All right? And now the word sa, or the word, these words being based on the character sa, right? The sa in Hebrew is not used to pluralize anything at all right? Right? So let's break down what's going on here. Shalom is the word for peace, right? Why is it not shalom? Shalom. Why is it not shalom? Why is shalom not the word for peace?
Because that's not the exact root. The exact root is shalom.
The root is shalom, right?
Right.
But suppose someone came to you and said, shalom.
That's not accurate.
It's not accurate.
It's
Good.
not accurate. Like what's called, because there's no yakan, there's no why. What's called, that's only in certain instances. Usually you see shalom.
Right. It is in certain instances, but give me the instance. What's in shalom in different from shalom that makes shalom incorrect as a greeting?
I'm not sure exactly what the placement of the Y actually does in shalom. Mm-hmm. But I know that's what one of the things that basically makes it.
Right. What's good, right?
Right.
If you put a Y in the middle of the greeting shalom, you're turning the word into a verb, right? Greetings are not necessarily verbs, right?
Yeah, greetings more so a statement than a verb.
It's a statement than a verb. Shalom is a statement, right?
Complete a piece or finish.
God, or just a state of peace.
Right.
A statement, state of peace, right?
Right.
Shalom would be the sense of, in the sentence, let's create peace, all right? Or let's make this peaceable. Like, it would be, saying shalom is like saying peaceable, right? Peaceable is not a greeting, all right? Shalom is not a greeting, right? Shalom is a greeting because I can greet you peace, but no one says peaceable, right? We greet hello, we don't say helloing, all right? So that's shalom. Shalom is the greeting, right? Good, right? Shalom who? Shalom ak. What does ak mean? In the singular form, ak is brother.
Right.
Right? Brother, right?
Salaam, sir.
Yes.
Pictographically, it's a strong wall or something around the fact, right? Like wall.
Okay, let's see. We have the which is the cow's head.
Right.
Right? Cow's head, alak. Right? And then we have the wall, right? Which is kawama. Right?
Right.
Okay. Cow on a fence.
Wait, but I thought it could also mean like strength or the first or leader cap broke that down once.
Cows are strong.
Right, cow.
Right? It could mean that.
Right.
It could mean you can't get past this wall right here.
Right.
It could mean
it
could mean you're coming across our possessions.
Right.
Right? Your brother is your possession.
Well,
right? You wanna harm your possession, you respect your possession, you don't damage your possession. Right? It could mean a strong wall, right? But these are what you call hypotheses, because there's no real written rule on what it actually means. Like all of this is speculative, and they're all right. Why? Because a long time ago, when Adam is forming his language, you know what I mean? It could mean this, and it could be that at the whim of a thought. You see what I'm saying? Jake, meaning Israelites, right? We are not, we don't have a like stuff like this is stuff that we don't need to write down, as there's no, you know, statement as what it actually means. Right? So I make a rap. If I make if I'm a rapper, I have a bar, I have a lyric, right? I could say something, and then you might ask me, you said that, but what does it really mean? And I'll tell you, it means all those things, because that was the genius of the lyric, right? The genius of this is that it means more than one thing. Like many scriptures that are of the Lord, and this language is of the Lord, it is manifold, all right? Manifold, right? So your brother is not for one thing, your brother is for many things, right? Your brother bears your burdens, and cows bear the burden of work, right? And now these burdens are behind our fence. These are behind our walls, right? So my brother is who bears my burden behind my walls. Nobody who's not my brother doesn't bear my burden, because I cannot trust him with my burdens. I cannot trust him with my issues and the thing that is secret to us and no one shouldn't have, and profits us and no one shouldn't gain from, rewards us and no one should be rewarded from it, feeds us. These cows feed us behind this wall. My brothers feed me, right? And no one else will feed us. Other nations would like to today, like other nations would like to starve you. They will take your businesses. They'll take your economy. These cows were our economy. Right? The cows would provide us meat. Their leather provided us the coats that the world is now famous for, the leather coats that started from us skinning cows, but everyone looked at us as barbarians. You see what I'm saying? Skinning them cows, making leather out of them, making tents out of them. That's how we have the whole figure of the bar, right? Because that bar would be cows' leather, right? Up, being held down by the ground by cords, strings, right? Made out of willows, probably, right? And a strong stave that is curved and rooted into the ground, so it doesn't fly away, right? Yeah.
I thought the da was the what's it called? What's the tent? Well, like a tent like this.
Da is dala, which means door.
Right, but I thought that was the door to a tent.
Right. So this is the door to a tent, right? When ba is bayat, which means tent, which over time progressed into being a house, right? This is a tent, right? The stave goes into the ground and it's hooked into the ground the same way out today. Houses have to have a foundation. It's to make sure the house don't blow away in a storm. It doesn't move off the ground in a storm. Right? Hurricane comes, the house doesn't move because it is built on a cement foundation. Right? Back then, we knew just as well to when we're gonna have a house, first dig the ground up, dig it. Get this tree, turn it upside down in the ground. Right? Put the dirt back over the branches. Right? Get all the leather cows, the cow's leather, and form a house, right? Protect them from the outside with the strengthening of and the stretching of the leather, right? Tie them together with a house, right?
So what's a hall? What's a hall?
I can't remember.
A hall, the tabernacular tent.
Tabernacular tent is going to concordance.
Got 168.
Okay, read it.
A hall, the other one. H 166. A tent as clearly conspicuous from a distance, covering dwelling place, home, tabernacle tent. Tabernacle tent, dwelling places, covering home.
Okay, so it says right there, right?
Right.
You see tabernacle.
Right.
or a tent. Right?
Right, John.
So what is it? So what is the question?
No, because you said Bayat is tent.
Bayat is a tent.
But I thought that was more so like a little physical house.
Today, it's a physical house because today people don't live in tents.
But okay. Because like what's called another time, because like I got scripture here with a hall is used for tent.
Mm-hmm. A hall is used for tent.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But like what's called when a house be separate, like something like someone, because a tent is usually used for nomads.
Okay. And
Like,
were we nomads?
At one point, but
at one point. So what would you call, would we say? Would we not use the word bayat where we were nomads? Would we use a hall for nomads where we were nomads?
I'm not sure.
Then you might want to check.
Concept.
You might want to check.
Concept.
Right? You give me any part in Genesis where it says Bethlehem or Beth. Give me any one of them Beth places. Give me the places right around when Jacob was roaming, and he was roaming around, right? For looking for the promise that the Lord gave him, right? And he had any place that was called Beth this, Beth that. Give me Bethel. There we go. Right? Bethel, which is Beth Allah, which means house of the Lord, right?
Right.
Or house of the power, right? Bethel, right? From Bayath Allah, right? Give me the story right around there if I could, right? And that was on point too. That was a good one, Bethel. But that was a lot of things in Genesis concerning the forefathers, particularly Jacob, happened around this Bethel place right here, right? Right? Bayath would mean house. Back then, our house was a tent. All right.
I also found one for a house. Genesis 33 and 17.
Okay, go ahead.
And Jacob journeyed to Sukkot and built him a house.
Give me Bethel.
Okay.
Is that Bethel here?
No, not.
Well, that's all for what we trying to get here.
That's like you told me to find one word.
I told you to get me the Bethel right here. So I got it on the board right here, right?
Come.
All right. House of the power. Right. This is a town. All right. A town.
Genesis 28:19.
Okay, read.
And he called the name of that place Bethel.
He called the name of that place Bethel.
Right.
Right. Who is this? Jacob, right?
Right, concept.
Jacob named this town. All right. So black people had a time where we would name places, and that would be the name of it. And today, people have it in Bibles, and you go on your Google Maps, and there's places that your forefathers named. The same way how today there's places called Columbus, or there's places over here called New York, or there's places over here called Brooklyn or Queens County, right? One time we named places too. All right, go on.
Concept. But the name of that city was called Luz at the first.
Before it was called Luz, right? Luz, right? And Luz, using the common or the predictable transliterations, right? That the U right here will become like a wa, all right? And it'll be like a lawaz. Right? I can't remember what that means. I think it means something like light or something, right? We'll find out in a minute, right? Go ahead.
John, that's the end of it. The end of the verse.
All right, but you can keep reading for the context. That's what we did, right?
20. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if the power will be with me and will keep me in this way, that I go and will give me bread to eat and raiment to put on. 21. So that I come again to my father's house in peace. Then shall the Most High be my power.
Okay, no problem, man. This time we was living in tents, all right? That was our way, all right? 3869, 3869. 3869. 3869. Probably a foreign origin, some kind of not almond, right? So lawaz means almond, right? Almond, right? A lot of nuts, peanuts, and of the like, right? Are based off this word right here, lawaz, right? It's also used for the word, according to the concordance, also used for the word hazel, right? The hazel color is based off of the color of these seeds for trees, right? Nuts, peanuts, almonds. All right.
That's loose.
That's loose.
Because I got something different.
Okay. What concordance code you got here?
3870.
Right. Which says.
As growing there.
As
2 places in Palestine.
As growing there, 2 places in Palestine, based off of what word?
It doesn't say.
3869.
Oh yeah, it can probably from 3869.
Right, 3869 because 3969 is lawaz. Right, lose is 3869. All right, which is a almond.
Right.
Right, so don't be doubtful. All right. All right, so that's lawaz. Jacob changed the place of this to Bethel, right? Is that what's being said here?
God.
Yeah, so he changed the place of lose. It was named. It's named there. Okay, when you see a place name like this, right? This is common in human beings, right? If you say this place is a place known for the river of the brooks, which is kind of like a low river, then you would have named the place Brook River, right? Right? If this place is known for lumber, you'll name it Lumberville. You can name things like that, right? So this place is where you could find almonds, right? So you just name the place down by the almond grove, and then you later on the place is built up. Everyone cut the trees down. You build up concrete streets and sidewalks and buildings, and a train goes through there, and the train stop will say the next stop is Almond Grove, right? Because one time there was a grove of almonds there, right? So it's just like that, right? That's how this place was, right? So from that time, wherever the place of almonds were, Jacob named this place no longer almond, but the place where the Lord said. Read a part again about why he named that place there again. Bethel. All right.
Johnson. And he called the name of that place Bethel. But the name of that city was called Luz at the first.
Okay, keep reading.
And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, "If God, the power will be with me."
Right. So now, so this is the place where he made a vow.
Right.
Right. If God, the power, will be with me.
Right. And will keep me in this way.
And will keep me in this way.
That I go.
And
will give me bread to eat.
And will give me bread to eat.
And raiment to put on.
And clothes to put on.
So that I come again to my father's house in peace.
So that I come again to my father's house, meaning be blessed and not be cursed like how we are cursed. Because we don't go to our father's in peace. We get shot in the streets. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? We die of drug overdoses. You die traumatized in a nightmare that you can't wake up from because you're already awake. It's not a dream, you're just high. Right? You die in prison, right? In a fight, over some chicken. All right? Keep reading.
Then shall the Most High be my power.
Then shall the Most High be our God who we worship, right? It was an oath that we made, right? A lot of us in the world, you was raised as a Christian. You don't know God, you don't know what God is about. You think God is in your own mind, and you wake up one day and you realize that the coronavirus is out here. You ask for answers to why God will create a situation like this that cannot go away, right? Plagues, that the Lord said, plagues of sore and long continuance in Deuteronomy 28, right? It is the Lord's doing, Brothers come up here, they leave their former God, right? They're no longer Muslims, they're no longer Christians, or sometimes they worship Buddhism, the Hindus, whatever stuff that is, the dot on the forehead, the 3-0, whatever that, namaste, whatever that crap is. You leave that alone, and you make an oath right here at 2279 3rd Avenue, right? Where we do what? Read it again.
Then shall the Most High be my power.
From the top.
So that I come again to my father's house.
So I come again to my father's house in peace.
Then shall the Most High be my power.
Who's your fathers? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Isupk, Asher, Naphtali, all the 12 tribes of Latinos, Negroes, and Native Indians, the First Nations, right? Read it again.
Come. So that I go to my father's house in peace. Then shall the Most High be my power.
Then shall the Most High be my power. Read it from the part where he's saying it's an oath.
20, and Jacob vowed a vow.
There you go. So you're gonna come into the I.S.U.P.K. and you're gonna make a vow to the Lord, right? When you come in there, your officer's name, you're making a vow. That name you have represents the oil poured in your head represents the vow, right? And you get a new name, like how Jacob got a new name right around here. His name was changed from Jacob, right, which was his name by his parents, into Yasharallah Israel. That was his Hebrew name given to him by the Lord. All right, keep reading.
That the power will be with me and will keep me.
So the vow said, if the power will be with me and keep me
in this way that I go,
in this way, in this path, what Christians like to say, in my walk, right, in my path, in my journey, right, where you come into the truth. Keep reading.
And will give me bread to eat and raiment.
And will give me bread to eat, right? You're going to eat in here. You're not going to starve when you come in PK. You're going to eat. Brothers will feed you. Brothers behind this wall is going to feed you cows. Come in here. You're going to come in here and have tacos, beef tacos. You're going to have stew beef. I made it a while about it, right? You have stew beef. About your brother, your brother is going to make you empanadas behind this wall right here, made out of beef. Behind this door right here, behind this wall right here. Keep reading.
John.
Bread to eat.
And raiment to put on.
And raiment to put on. When you come in there, you're going to put on mitris. And you're going to put on Israelite garments when you come up in the I.S.U.P.K. Right? You're going to put on shirts that have the shield of David on it. Fly joints. You know what I mean? Right. With brothers who are very experienced in the graphic arts of t-shirts. You see what I'm saying? Brothers who put fringes on your pants, the culture according to the law of the Bible. All right, we got much more coming when it comes to raiment in the school. All right, keep reading.
John. So that I come again to my father's house in peace.
And we're doing this to have a life of peace, so that we don't die in agony, we die of old age. You see what I'm saying? We get to see our kids and grandkids, meaning in America, got to get done away with. Right? And we got to get back to the Middle East, right, where we come from. Why do they call it the Middle East? Oh, there's no Middle North, no Middle West, no Middle South. Dummy. Right? Back to the middle of the earth where it all started. Right. The Garden of Eden. The East. What does East mean? East just means a word for Asia. Right? East means Asia. All right? The Orient. Right? The Near East. The Middle East. We're going to go back there. For those who are uneducated and don't know nothing, we're talking about the Arabian Peninsula, which was one time the Israelite Peninsula. Right? It was the Abrahamic Peninsula. It was the Hebrew Peninsula. It was the peninsula of Noah. It was the peninsula of Adam and Eve. All right? It was the garden. It was the land. In other words, it was what the scholars call the Fertile Crescent. In other words, it was the land of the 4 rivers. Rivers went through the garden. It's called the Garden of Eden, right? For those who don't know, right? Let me help you out here, right? Yeah. It's this place right here. That land right here. Yeah. Right? This is the land we're talking about right here. This is our land. This is our homeland, right? Okay? Yeah, this is the homeland, as you see here. They label it the Middle East. Why? Because everything from the Red Sea, right? Come on. Everything from the Red Sea going this way is called the East, right? This is called the East, right? You have Near East and you have the Far East, from beyond India to China, all right? They call it Far East Asia, right? So if China and India is the Far East, then where is the Near East? It will be this area right here. Near to what? Near to the white man. He's the one that's calling it Near East,
Right.
and Far East and Middle East. Middle East means that this is the middle of the earth. This is where all things is going down in the earth. Babylon happened right here.
Right.
Assyria happened right here. The Persian Empire happened right here. The Babylonian society happened right here. Egypt happened right here, right? In the same section, right? Where their thing was to be a superpower in the earth. What was the time of the to be a superpower in the earth? It's called ruling the known world. What was the known world? This section right here.
Right.
In the middle. All right, good, right? So we have the land of the four rivers, right? East means Asia. This is Asia. When you talk about the 7 schools in Asia, the 7 schools of Asia was right here. Right around here. Right? Not even going over here, right? These, I believe there's a place in Philadelphia was in Turkey, right?
Right? Yeah, I believe Philadelphia is around Turkey.
Yeah, right? And I believe Thessalonica is one of them. It's not Thessalonica. Thessalonica, right?
Yeah, Con.
It's in this section right here, right around this coast right here.
Right.
Right? And this was called Asia. This is where all the half things was going on, and nothing going on in Africa. Africa is where the heathen were, the Jebusites and the Hittites and the Amorites, right? Those are African people, right? And our world was the known world, the Middle East. We don't know what's going on in Africa because they, you go out there, you might not come back. They might eat you, right? So we don't know what's going on. That's the unknown world. The known world is right here, the Middle East, the middle of the action, the middle of the earth. All right, good, right? There's something else I'm gonna say on that. The four rivers, right? The Tigris, Euphrates, Gihon,
the Gihon and the Nile, right?
And the Pison.
Okay,
right? The book of Josephus says the Nile.
Right? So the book of Josephus lets you know that Garden of Eden is Israel.
The book of the Bible saying the four rivers is letting you know wherever the four rivers is at.
It's near Israel.
That's really Israel.
Right.
Right. So when they say the Nile River, they're trying to say the border.
Right.
When the problem is the Nile River is going into Africa.
Right.
Right. But it's not that. Here's the issue with that, right?
Right.
Before the flood, the earth was shaped a lot different. I believe they call it Pangea.
Right, Con.
All right. So let's try to get the four rivers right now, right? We have, but they try to say, oh, Israel's in Africa, right? But the Euphrates is right here.
Right.
See if you can get the camera a little closer.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, right there's 12, right? Hey, if you read right here, where is it at?
Right there, Euphrates.
Euphrates, right?
Yeah, Con.
Right? This is a land, this is not Africa.
Yeah, right.
They try to say Israel in Africa, because they're looking at the moon right here and looking at this right here, and they're trying to marginalize this strip of land to Africa.
Right.
But this is not in Africa.
Right.
This is the Euphrates.
Right.
Right? This is in Iraq.
Right.
Iraq.
Right.
Right? Now where's the Tigris? Tigris right here, right? Look at that.
Con.
The land of the four rivers. This is the Garden of Eden. The promised land.
Right.
The land that we was kicked out of.
Right.
That we hope to get back. That we did get back one time. A part of it right over here, just a stitch of it, coming from Africa, running away from Africa for their life and running from slavery, toil, right? We hope to go back to this land of the four rivers, where one river is here, and it said, one of the Gihon or the Pihon, it borders Ethiopia. Where's Ethiopia? Down here. This is Ethiopia right here.
Right.
One river borders Ethiopia, right? The Tigris is the river, and the Euphrates. It said it's I'm not gonna get the scripture right. Paraphrasing, it sprung up like a spring
Right.
to go out and water the garden. This is it right here.
Right.
Right? And we have one river right here which borders Ethiopia, right? And it's open now, but at one time it was closed, right? And this will be the other river, right? The Gulf of Aden, which goes out and waters the whole earth, right? So from here, the Red Sea to the Mediterranean is one river, and the Gulf of Aden is another one that goes out and waters the whole earth, all right? And the Nile River does not water the whole earth, right? The Euphrates goes out and waters the whole earth here, right? Flood of Noah came. America is way all over there now. We don't know where America
if I
is,
may,
right?
I believe the Nile does technically, because I remember from history class, the Nile is considered a weird river because it goes opposite. A lot of people don't realize the Nile doesn't go down, doesn't trail down. The Nile trails upward into the ocean. I don't know if you ever knew that, but yeah,
No,
that's one thing.
absolutely.
So yeah, technically,
But does this do the same thing?
What do you mean?
The Red Sea.
Does the Red Sea trail upward?
If I go to right here,
right?
Does this Gulf of Suez empty out into this way?
That I'm not sure, but I know the Nile definitely goes opposite.
Okay,
goes out into the north.
But I gotta go by what I was taught.
Okay, okay.
So, Josephus is not the truth.
Right.
Qadash and YAHANNA is.
Okay.
Right. The Gulf of Suez and the Red Sea goes out into the Mediterranean too. Ships go from here to here. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right. They bring trucks. Not trucks. They bring cart because the shipping carts. What do you call those again? Shipping containers.
Right.
Right. They go on trucks to the ports. The crane lifts the containers off from the port and put them on the ships. Them ships comes to here. They always that's how we talk about the Gulf of Suez. It's always in the news, because if a pirate violates the ships, has the shipping containers going towards the Middle East or to China or Asia, it's a war. Right. So you always hear about the Gulf of Suez on the news, on BBC, on World News, right? Because that is the path that they use to go from this side of the world to this side of the world.
Got it.
You see what I'm saying?
Got it.
Now, the Nile River, I'm not sure, right? It did say the Nile River in the book of Josephus. We'll ask again.
Got it.
That might be the best thing to do. We'll just ask again, all right? But there's one river. Two of them come right here. They go through the middle of the land. One river goes around, borders Ethiopia. Another one goes the other way. All right?
Got it.
No sweat, right? Okay,
you back down? All right, on the ball.
Right?
You want to buy you or Slocking your tongue?
Yeah, it's back by me, right? Let's get these rivers and stuff.
The rivers. Okay.